Good day and welcome back to another Dbz Dokkan battle video. In this video we are going to be taking a look at the banners. The Dokkan Festival banner featuring Goku and Vegeta, and the legendary Summon Carnival banner that features Metal Cooler. Now just a full disclaimer, I still do not agree with the teal coin, but the Cooler banner is pretty good, and I think the format change looks pretty solid overall, especially with the quality of the overall banners we've received. 4 banners may seem like a bit much, it is one extra banner, but at the same time, the quality of units that have been on these banners has been pretty good. So we'll start with the Goku and Vegeta banner. If you want a more in-depth discussion about them as a unit, I'll put it in the top right hand corner. But basically guys, they are a joined forces and movie heroes category lead with 30% for pure Saiyans units. So pretty solid in terms of their leader skill. I think it's pretty reliable overall. They raise their attack and defense on their 12 and 18 gi, which is helpful considering their passive. And then in terms of them as a unit, generally speaking, they look pretty solid. Without obviously going into too much detail, they look really decent. They're a bit plain in that they don't bring anything super innovative. They're more just an upgraded version of a lot of the joint duo Gokus. So if you think of Tech Gogeta or Strength Vegeta, they're an upgraded version of that. They retain their damage reduction through both phases. They have additional offensive capabilities, and they have a slightly higher stat base. So they generally speaking are a bit of an upgrade on that. They don't have the scouter effect that both of the other two have, which is the only real comparative, but they do have an active skill, and they do have a much higher offensive level than the other units. Overall, this unit's pretty good. Only kind of negative is that they're not on too many categories, only really being on 8 of them, which isn't insane, but yeah, isn't too bad. Conditions wise, the active and the transformation, the morale boost are all fairly easy to get. So as a unit, I think they're very solid. Like I said, they're not bringing anything exciting, but they are definitely just an upgrade on the kind of Goku Vegeta formula, which I think is fine. Animations wise, I think in 2x speed it definitely looks a lot better than a 1x speed. Look solid. I think this Big Bang is very nice. I actually prefer it to the 18 gi just because I like Vegeta a lot. So, but I think overall the animations look very solid. We're not able to see the active skill animations here, but I think they're pretty true to the movie, and I think the active skill is possibly one of the best looking abilities in the game, along with also the morale boost being pretty good. The Krillin and Gohan unit is okay as a banner unit. I don't think they're as good as Strength Piccolo. Full Power Frieza obviously is very solid on Cooler's team now. It's got 200% leads, so he's now a much improved unit. We then also have Mui Goku, who does need a few dupes nowadays, but is still a very good unit. Especially when his evasion pops off, he can still look ridiculous. Strength Vegeta did get a 200% lead, so it's going to be interesting to see how well Vegeta does. AGL Cell, exceptional unit, great leader skill, just a great unit overall. Leads a very powerful team that got quite a few upgrades, so if you're an Androids fan, definitely high value. Strength Kid Buu, also a very good unit to sit on the banner. His team's a bit weak right now, but Kid Buu himself is insane. He's absolutely nuts. Tech Buu, still good in a lot of content, and same with Int Gotenks, have aged pretty well actually from my perspective. Then AGL Metal Cooler, obviously the unit that got his recent EZA, which is a good EZA. So overall, I think this is a very solid banner, and we'll talk about the Carnival banner right now, but I think that's a very good banner. So if you want to summon on that banner, you can. Between the two of them, we'll discuss now. So obviously Cooler is the reciprocating unit. Cooler is pretty straightforward as a unit, I would say. He's a Wicked Bloodlines lead. In terms of his abilities, that's where people can get a little bit, I want to say, get a little bit indifferent. Cooler can be exceptional and can also not be exceptional, depending on which way you look at it and how you like your units. Cooler brings a revive, an unconditional revive, which is very good, but it's only when he is KO'd. So it's very different to Tech Goku's, where anyone in a rotation can be KO'd. Cooler has to be KO'd. You can then recover 10% HP at the start of the turn. You'll get 20% HP if your health is below 50%. You will also, then regain 5% HP if there's another Metal Cooler in the turn, another 10% at the end of the turn, just after you've been hit, and you also have the ability to nullify unarmed super attacks directed at the character, which is pretty good. His defense can get pretty high, he raises defense on his super, but it is just raw defense. But we are talking close to 35% regeneration. That's without factoring in any potential links like auto regeneration as well. So Cooler as a unit, pretty solid. I think he's an interesting unit because on the surface of it he can look a little bit finicky, but I think he brings the Wicked Bloodlines team exactly what it needs. Wicked Bloodlines does not have a revive and does not have high levels of heal. They have damage reduction in the form of an LR that's coming out later on Global. They have huge damage reduction in the form of the AGL and Tech Golden Freezers already. They have huge damage in the form of the Strength Cooler, and they have pretty big damage in the form of the Full Power Freezer. So Cooler brings exactly what his team needs. I think if he'd had a Scouter ability or another bit of utility, I think he would have been perfect, or maybe crit chance in his passive. That's really all I can complain about. I actually think Cooler brings exactly what the team needs. Then we have Tech Goku Gohan. This is probably the big win of the Carnival banner, because this unit is very, very good, and I think they are a big win for this banner, especially on the global side, because they're only on this one. They are very good, and so they make this banner a lot better, I think, personally. Krillin and Gohan, obviously now 170% joint forces lead does help them. The Krillin and Gohan other unit also does help them, but they can't link together because same name. So generally speaking, they are helped out. We could see a resurgence in them because of joint forces kind of picking up. Janemba, great unit. So we're kind of 4 for 4. I want to say 4 for 4 out of these units being units you want to summon for. Overall, I think this banner is pretty good. Tech Broly, great damage dealer, not the best when it comes to defense, but for all we know, he could be receiving a easy A at some point. This is where the banner takes a little bit of a turn down. Nappa and Vegeta are just not necessarily the most exciting unit, and Bardock, although being an exceptional unit, is not great on a lot of teams. So the banner does seem to take a little bit of a turn down. The SSRs are just kind of negligible. They're the ones at Easy A. They're not bad in any right. I have reviewed them, but generally speaking, the banner does take a slight turn down. I think overall the LR banner looks really good. The first 4 units are very solid. The first 5 maybe look pretty decent. There's some value in this banner for sure. Not to mention the fact that obviously, you can pick up some general pool units as well. But yeah, generally speaking, beyond Janemba, Tech, Goku Gohan, and Metal Cooler himself, you're not getting a lot of huge value on this banner. Whereas the Goku and Vegeta banner, you've got Goku and Vegeta themselves, you've got Full Power Freezer, you've got MUI Goku, you've got Cell, you've got Kid Buu. All of which are actually very, very solid options on a lot of teams. I'm going to say it's very much 50-50. If you want to go for Metal Cooler, you can, although I would suggest going for Goku and Vegeta. I feel like Goku and Vegeta, you get more value as a new player due to the strength of the leads, whereas maybe if you're a more experienced player and you're more interested in Metal Cooler, I would go for the LR banner. That's for me personally. Obviously discounts on both, which is fantastic. And yeah, hopefully you guys can get some really good luck. I will be recording my summons, and hopefully I can get some too. But cheers guys, see you soon.